How long could you survive on a desert island trapped at sea? Stranded and alone in the middle of an oceanic junkyard. Treacherous but full of resources. Today I'm being sponsored by TinyBuild to check out a game called All Will Fall. This game takes the concept of C-Block and turns it into a fantastic physics-based colony management simulation game where any building can collapse. It mixes the intrigue of high-tension colony management similar to Frostpunk or Against the Storm with risky and exhilarating Jenga-like building mechanics. But this is only the demo version. You can actually try it out for yourselves totally free during the limited run playtest. Just head to Steam on your account and request access. The full game is coming later in 2025. You can click my link in the description to wishlist it today. But without any further ado, let's get started. Welcome everybody to All Will Fall, the game about being stranded alone in the middle of the ocean. And just when you thought your day couldn't get any worse already. New game. Here we begin. Okay, so we are stranded, trapped alone in the middle of the ocean. There is nothing to see for many miles on all horizons. It's just nothing. And all we have here is just a bunch of crap lying around in the middle of the ocean. How to begin? Well, we have begun with this tugboat. This is our landing zone, and look, there come our brave crew right now, walking in to take a rest on the island. Alright, so these are our colony members. We are shipwrecked and alone with our crew. We really have pretty limited resources to start, but we need to find some way to bridge the gap here to all of these other constructions. Our basic needs right now are food for sustenance and water. How do we feed ourselves? Well, there's some food right over there, and here's our water storage, but we need to get to all of this. So we're going to need to gather up some wood. Let's go ahead and assign some workers over there. So they will gather up the wood and bring it to our wood storage. We're going to build some wooden support blocks. We still don't have water, but we're about to fix that with this amazing wooden staircase. Now we have acquired wood, water, and at last it's time for food. So let's go ahead and build a bridge over here to the food. And that lets us build a staircase, and now the food is accessible. Now we can just add in our food storage. We've bridged the first two islands together, our starting island and this one containing the food and some other junk. Well, if we stay limited here, we will eventually run out of resources. I think if we bridge over here to the second island, life continues to improve. The time has arrived to build a lab. So once we have the lab, we can start to research more advanced renewable technologies. And it appears that night is beginning to fall. Everyone is exhausted, so we would like to build some houses. And we're going to need a lot of these because we're going to have many more sailors. There we go. We're just going to set up some ladders so we can layer these. Okay, so everyone else is homeless and is just going to sit around for the rest of the night. We have very limited capacity housing and high homelessness, but it does get better from here. Night is upon us. And not only that, but it looks like low tide is coming in just a few hours. After that, we're going to be getting a high tide. Day has dawned and our workers emerge from their huts. And along with it, it looks like we're about to be getting low tide with a water level decrease. So while we climb higher up to get junk on top of the ruins over here, the sea level will fall momentarily. It looks like it's falling as we speak. All right, lots of new resources turning up in the flotsam and jetsam. Now we need more junk and wood in order to complete research, so we're going to need to salvage the bottom of the briny depths if we want to get anything done here. So with all of this exposed new area, we can kind of make our way down to other piles of junk, at least for a couple of hours. Now, this is fine for now, totally safe, but in a few hours, the high tide will return, and if we stay here, we will die. So we need to get this done fast. Let's get, there's also some wood down here as well. Well, we're using up 6 units of water and 3 units of food a day. So we do have quite a lot of that left over. The main thing we need right now is shelter, as well as some way of maybe producing more of this stuff over time. Let's go ahead and start building the last of these houses. This is getting increasingly precarious as we go. I mean, bad things do happen to good people. Oh no. But who cares? we didn't have much of a life to begin with, so it is what it is. We've had a random event of driftwood, amazing stuff, and I'm going to destabilize the colony by lowering my amount of influence in order to get even more wood. Now we have enough resources to research that wood catcher we were aspiring toward. Okay, this is starting to look less like just a jumbled pile of islands and more like an actual human construction. Amazing what we can do with only the will to survive. Although I do worry about the stability of some of our blocks here. It also looks like they're rotting with moss. We might need something stronger eventually, but for now, good enough. The needs of the colony grow. We're consuming more water and food every day. We require some way of renewably obtaining our resources, and what better way than, of course, our brand new wood catcher. We're going to build one of these things right here to descend down a bag for collecting wood from the ocean floor below. And we're running out of room to construct houses, so let's lay the next few of these precariously above the few we had built, which were already quite dubious in their architecture to begin with. Day has dawned once again, and we are completing our housing constructions. Except, what's this? Here cometh high tide. Not good. Alright, the sea level is starting to rise, and we won't be able to get back down here for a while. Oh well, at least it's safe in our junk catcher up above. Let's see if we can add to our already precarious roofing situation here, and wow, that looks amazing. Oh no, I was just trying to improve it. Never mind. Let's build even higher, just for no reason. It's getting just more unstable by the second. We can also deconstruct the boat for more resources, get some metal out of that. And in the meantime, we are researching fantastic new technology. We don't have enough junk, so investing in a junk catcher would behoove us. Now, next we're just going to make this wood boiler to take all of our salt water, of which there is just so much, to boil it with fire from burning wood and convert that into potable water. Now, we do have a couple of other ways to get water, like these rain catchers, but we're just a little bit low on junk right now. Let's go ahead and put some of our sailors and engineers onto that task. There we go. Wow, amazing. Now we can convert driftwood from the ocean floor and salt water into drinkable water. We have just forever covered our basic need for water. I suppose the other thing we are consuming quite a lot of is food. Still at 12 per day. I think we can do better. So I think we will research that next. Alright, we're beginning to run kind of low on resources now. We do have enough water, but we need wood to purify the water and make it potable. And we also don't have a real source of food. We're going to need to scramble here. But low tide has returned, and that's going to give us access to all of this wood and other secret stuff down here now. It looks like something has floated in. Alright, now's the chance. Let's go down below and gather up all of the wood and junk, as it is my custom. Come on, we've got to go, seize the day while the tide is low. We have just researched electrical junk catching. Can you even go any further with technology than that? I think maybe you can. Let's get a fishing hut over here. We've got some incredible fish resource nodes right here with oodles of them swimming round and round. We have yet another pile of wood, if you can even believe it, down here. So many discoveries to be had. Unfortunately, since we've begun, it seems like we're getting access to yet more floors below where we started. How far can you go down? There's only one way to find out. We're going down below deeper than any sailor has gone before. That is to say, we are building a dock to park our boats at, and maybe salvage some of these outer lying nodes of wood. Amazing. Now we can assign a sailor to gather things from the dock, and look, we can send our boats to gather more resources from the wreckage. Actually, we were running low on food. We had to sacrifice a man for some food. Don't ask so many questions. It was just a totally random event. Everything is fine now. In the meantime, we're looking pretty good. We've now got a positive water surplus on the daily. We still are using up food, but we can remedy that by creating some farms and fisheries. All that will be done once we get the junk required in order to research fishing nets for boats. Then we can, well, fish from the boats, of course. But until then, we wait because Well, most of the junk is still located here underwater, and we just can't get to that yet. Now the sea level is falling once again. Now, once we get low tide, the tide, well, it'll get even lower, if you can believe it. Amazing, so many treasures lie below to be explored. It behooves us to undertake a search right now. Believe it or not, we had to cannibalize one guy. Don't ask so many questions, let's just try to sweep this under the rug. Cannibalism was, after all, the only option. We made the best of a bad situation. All right, we are being given yet more citizens to take care of. This is just simply too many people. Who would have thought that there would have been so many shipwrecked in the middle of the sea, but it is what it is. There's more mouths to feed now. We are advancing. We are creating a hamster wheel for someone to walk around inside of in order to generate electricity. This is an amazing feat we have accomplished. Look at us go. We are now powering our electric junk catcher. We can create junk out of nothing now. We are sustaining our population through the use of kinetic energy. Amazing. We have also just unlocked the incredible ability to use boats to fish for food. Now, it may not look very good with the amount of food, but hey, at least we can create some for ourselves now. We have multiple ways of gathering resources. Okay, it's time to expand our housing situation. You know, it's looking... If we turn on the physics overlay, this is not looking very good, but at least I did my best. We're going to attempt to offset the fact that cannibalism has been in place with a small celebration to make everyone happier. Let's just say that compromises have been made in order to keep everything running swimmingly, shall we say. Now, we could make our colonists happier with more food and water, but if I did that, we would run out. So right now, you just have to live with what you got. And just when we thought everything was going fine, it's all beginning to crash downhill. We have now been alive for 9 days. The sea level has dropped, but along with it, the dubious construction and the supports thereof. We are running out of water and food, supported only by the wood that we are able to bring in each day, which is very little, that is to say. This is quite bad. And things are getting somewhat desperate, so I'll tell you what, we're going to make our way over to this water silo. It is the only available source of, you guessed it, water, and we really need some of that right now. So we're going to start to, well, what we're going to have to do is bridge our way over there. There's really no other choice. But if we just build into the depths of the ocean, here we go, we may be able to stilt our way across. Look how amazing we can make the crossing. And with 85% structural integrity. Although we do have some of these wooden support buildings, although that would of course use up more wood that we don't have. You know, you need wood to get to the wood. Things are looking pretty bad. We quite desperately require water, so we're going to just have to grab the last of this driftwood from our ships. And tell you what, we're going to bridge our way over to this water silo. If this is even possible, which we shall see. All right, and we've reached high tide. I think we have one more, and oh, just imagine like that never happened. There must be another way. Somehow we have to improve the structural integrity. Okay, we've barely bridged it across with just a little piece of junk. Good, now we can start to get some water from over on that silo. Only by this extremely tenuous bridge can we barely get enough water out of that silo. We have only 23 left. That's just barely enough for one day. Yes, you will have to wade through water, but it's okay. Just ignore the rising sea levels and continue standing on the very tenuous bridge all the way to the silo. See, everything is fine. Look, we're gathering up all the water we need. Amazing. This will keep us alive for about 15 more days, so we are fine with respect to water now, but now we have only 3 days of food left, and that is just not enough. Fourth save to trader has arrived. We can trade our junk, all of this junk we've been saving up for wood. That is enough to build more supports. We are saved. Isn't that a funny happenstance? That's good, because there's a lot more stuff in the ocean for us to grab. And we are running out of food. Although there is some leftover food just sitting there in the salt water. probably we could somehow bridge our way over if we just build up a support column in the sea. Ooh, gaze in wonderment. I am also able to paint our houses to make them look, honestly, just a lot more festive. I am continuously amazed by the wonderment of our maritime architecture. Look, we have constructed yet another wood junk bridge over to the food. At last, the sea level has dropped, and now we can make our way over to the food. We just needed a little bit of a junk bridge there, and now, food and water. Okay, those short-term needs met with all those bridges. We'll now get back to gathering up resources for the long term. You know, we've really got a lot more exposure down here, too. We can see, if we lower our Z level, a whole new world to be explored. And you know, if we're heading for that antenna over there, I think we can... Well, if we just bridge our way over to this main obstacle, we'll be able to walk our way over there. A myriad of possibilities awaits. We are now making the crossing toward more food. We've got food, water, and even more wood. Lots more wood over on the next island here. We can go get that. We've also made our crossing over here via this wood bridge to more food, more junk, and some metal on this great tower. We are scaling yet new heights. And we're just about to come up on high tide, but we've got some exposure to the doorway to this incredible antenna here. Maybe some communication lay in our future, some very rusty, musty communication. Okay, we've made the crossing onto one of the islands and bridged with, junk. Just a lot of junk that we had lying around. We're a little over 2 weeks in now, and we're even pathing out here. I didn't even plan on this island, but we've got yet more food, so this is a major addition to our coffers. We've actually run out of food space, so we're going to need to construct yet another one of these, because some people are just standing around with food on their backs, and we can't have that now. Done. Now we are storing yet even more food. We have space for 400 total food. Some people have been added into our colony, but others we've just, well, we've disposed of in various nondescript methods. Don't ask so many questions. Although we have created quite the labyrinth, the circus of paths of wood here between all of our structures. Look at it in amazement. We're at low tide. We're about to come back up to high tide, but I think we're going to have enough room soon to explore this. A brief glimpse at it here, but I think we're going to have to wait till the next sea level drop upcoming in order to explore the many wonders that lie behind this door. But we've now got use of this elevator, which is amazingly transporting us from, well, actually, I hadn't seen this until now, but we can just kind of bring down the camera angle to see through, like, X-ray vision into the levels, which is actually pretty cool. We are coming to the last bridge to gap, and it's time to, oh my goodness, we have just made so many mistakes here. Let's try to undo that. Just act like that didn't happen. We'll have to construct another way. I think we can bridge it, folks. Yes, if we just take a little bit more of this crap here and bridge it over there. And look, we've made a giant land bridge to this thing. Amazing. Let's go explore it and just see what's inside. We have to investigate. Look how far we've come. We started off on this one little island right here, and now we've overdeveloped it. We've created a massive Hooverville. And now we have a tenuous and dubious set of supports reaching to great new heights that's leading us toward not only vast wealths of food for sustenance, but also mysterious new secrets. We can't get to it yet, but high tide is just about over right now. That looks pretty grim. I'm pretty sure you'll die if you go down there. It looks like high tide has now swallowed up any opportunity we would have had to explore these ruins, but, well, it looks like at the beginning of day 19, we're going to get another water level change once again. Oh well, at least we've reached the time. Now the sea level is dropping once again, and there it goes. I think we can start to wade our way down here. Let's see if we can just assign a couple of our workers to start investigating the special antenna. Oh, there's so much room for wading through that horrible... Oh, now there's so much room. Look, the way is completely clear. The path is now safe and the investigations have begun. Although I do feel as though the path has become far too winding to be convenient. Let's see if we can make another path over here. We do, after all, have the wood needed to sustain this. I think we can make yet another vertical way. It's perfect. Okay, we can just barely span the gap right here and make our way even faster than we had fathomed before. Okay, we have entered the mysterious antenna, and only 2 minutes remain until we discover what secrets lay in store inside. Right, we have investigated the inside. It is a weather control station. Seems like this is one of those weather control stations. Big cities use them to change their weather conditions. Oh, the good old days when we could just clear the clouds for a nicer day or make it rain when it got too hot. I mean, weather manipulation, eh? That said, I mean, we've spent so much time struggling for survival, I've hardly realized we've actually got pretty high up in the air over the course of this playthrough. And, you know, I think we can do maybe even better if we just go all the way out. Oh my goodness. You know, quick stress test if we turn on our handy-dandy physics overlay. Behold with wonderment. Everything seems totally fine, but it's actually not fine. Look, it's becoming more unstable. And oh wow, if we put in more supports, we can actually topple everything horribly. Amazing. I do think we can do better. Bad things do happen to good people. Oh, that's a real shame. You gotta admit that lower bridge had good structural integrity, though. Okay, maybe not that far, but hey, we can at least make that our ambition. I mean, we just have such a massive plethora of wood now. Let's see, can we... it was a good idea anyway. Maybe we can just do... Nope, it looks like I'll get pretty close, though. I do have one other idea. I mean, this looks like a very solid support, and if we just do one of these... There we go, and... Oh my goodness. I am a genius. I've done it. I have bridged both gaps. And if you put even one more thing, the entire structure just collapses. It is beautiful. Now we can expand too. Oh. Oh no. Never mind. Fortunately, I can just undo all that. You know, never mind. Maybe that was just high enough. Well, now that we have so many more resources, we could actually expand over here. We could create like a multi-layered housing project. This looks like really low-income housing. Highly precarious and unstable contraptions that somehow manage to remain standing. Well, there's a few more layers we could go down. If I wanted, I could go into the sea. If I look below, there actually are a few layers down here. But you know, I feel like we've had a pretty good run of it. Well, most of us. That is to say, those of us who survived. I believe I did a good job. Anyway, big thanks to TinyBuild for letting me check out All Will Fall. Limited time playtest available now, where the devs are gathering feedback, if you want to click my link in the description. I think this game is a really neat system. It combines a lot of the things that I like from Minecraft, RimWorld, and games like Raft. I think this is the blueprint of, pun intended, something that feels actually quite unique and special to me. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Especially if you guys are coming from my RimWorld series. I'm kind of curious how many of you guys are checking this out from that. And don't forget to compliment me in the comments section below. As always, I'm Ambiguous Amphibian. A big thanks to my patrons who always greet me, "Ahoy, Captain!" And I like that. Until next time.